What's up, folks? Justin Garcia, a.k.a. Master Chim here, and I'm here with the cracker Patrick Kelly, white boy Pat.
What's up?
And welcome to another episode of the Pressure Project Radio. All right, so we're on location now. We probably should have made a big deal of it, but we would have if we could have gotten some video up. So we couldn't, and due to our technological constraints, we're going to be hosting an hour show tonight. Oh, that's what we need to have that soundbite loaded.
Power of hour.
The power of hour?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, top of your game tonight, buddy.
You're fired.
So right now we're on location. Pat and I are down south somewhere doing some good stuff, some good people, and we're here for a few days. Unfortunately, it coincided with today, and well, that's not the unfortunate thing. The unfortunate thing is the Wi-Fi is not strong enough to support the machine that is the Pressure Project. So we're on audio tonight only. There's probably a lot of guys on Facebook, I'd imagine, looking to see where the hell we are. So I guess joke's on them. It's unfortunate, but I keep telling you guys, thepressureproject.com. Go there and put your email in. The reason I say that is because an email was sent out to that list to let them know our current situation. So for those of you that are listening, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Just so you know, obviously, this is a live show. 347-855-8999 is our call-in number. So if you want to talk to us, want to ask some questions, call into that number, and we'd be happy to hear from you. So I guess a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
We can go recent news. We can go just power topics. We've had a very powerful couple of days.
Yeah.
Some incredible conversations.
100%.
I was just arguing with a couple of very good friends of mine, very powerful and brilliant friends of mine about probability for about 3 hours at a Chinese buffet restaurant.
That is correct. Yeah.
So, nothing but powerful stuff going on down here. The food was terrible, but goddamn, the conversation was amazing. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got Trump just won another 5 states.
Isn't Cruz now mathematically eliminated?
Yeah, I believe he's eliminated, and Kobayashi's also eliminated.
Yeah.
In other news, though, even though he's mathematically eliminated, he chose his VP, which is Carly Fiorina. And
okay.
Carly Fiorina, I got to tell you, early on in the presidential campaign, I liked what she had to say. I liked her conversations. I liked her ability to debate. Carried herself very well. But the thing with Carly Fiorina is she just really didn't have any substance. And too much backdoor politicking, not enough support, not enough of a reason to overlook so many glaring experience issues with her and conflict of interest. And a lot of people just said she was a lousy business person. But all that being said, Ted Cruz said, you know what? I'm going to put a woman on my ticket and try to bump this shit up a little bit. So kudos to him, but I think eventually it'll prove to be unsuccessful. So Donald Trump right now, I think he has like 988 delegates. I think it's 988. He needs 1237, and he seems to be the, I guess, presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. But still at this point, he's not being embraced by the party.
Okay.
And everybody is pretty much, just doing whatever they can to undermine his campaign. I remember there was a soundbite from a month ago, and I think it was Ted Cruz. I don't know if he was referring to Carson or Rubio, but basically he gave this whole talk on how if you are mathematically, unable to win the vote, then you should just basically step out of the way.
Well, yeah.
Get out of the way. What are you doing? You're sabotaging us. Ultimately, we gotta win the seat against the Democrats, and But here we are, and I mean, doesn't that speak to Ted Cruz?
Yeah.
Ted Cruz says a lot of good stuff, but every other fucking politician's ever run for office.
True.
But the proof is in the pudding, right? Deeds, not words. And he's full of shit. And him being in the race right now, I mean, how does that not provide proof that he's full of shit? You know what I'm saying?
I agree, 100%. Doesn't make any sense.
So it is what it is. But I still, probably the best thing, my favorite thing about the presidential campaign is that I now get to wear Trump shirts and my Trump hat and just trigger everybody.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it is amazing. Where was that where the lady was sucking her teeth at me?
Was it a diner?
No. You think it would be. Most of my stories are that. It was, I think it was with my parents.
I don't remember. I don't remember the story. I remember you were walking somewhere and there's people sitting down. I thought it was at a restaurant of some kind.
Right, it might have been a restaurant.
And every person you walked by were like,
right, she gave me the face. Oh, yeah, it was the diner.
Yeah. The diner.
I just picked up my parents from the airport. We went to the diner, and I had my Trump shirt on. And as we're walking in, this man and woman, and they seem to be, I guess on a business breakfast or something. They were walking out, and they seemed nice enough, and they saw my shirt, and both of them just scowls. The lady sucked her teeth, rolled her eyes at me. It was pretty pathetic. All right, we got a caller on the line. Let's hit that one.
Hey,
Big
what's
Anthony,
up?
what's up, brother man?
Skull.
You can hear us?
I can hear you only through the phone, and for some reason I couldn't hear. The link just kept sending me to buy an app, so I was like,
Really?
I don't know what's going on.
Well, that sucks. Hopefully not everybody else is going through that.
Yeah, I checked it.
And meanwhile, I was just about to give out the phone number so people can call, but I guess they weren't listening to the fucking show.
No, it's working.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Anybody who can't listen, but it's working. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Anthony, what's going on, brother man? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Yeah, did you guys get to see the 3-man panel, or one woman, with Milo, Crowder, and I forget the woman's name?
Yes, I did.
You, Bass?
And the what's the fuck? They're calling the fat girl something. What are they calling her?
I was just about to say Trigglypuff.
Trigglypuff. Did you see that yet?
No. What the fuck
is amazing. So apparently they went to a college to give one of their talks, like they've been doing. Milo Yana something,
right.
Who's great. He's on this tour. It's called the Most Dangerous Faggot Tour.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
That tour is called
he
the
is
Dangerous
a fabulous
Faggot.
troll.
Holy so shit. He is the Kal-El of trolls. Not a fag. Stop being so suburban.
Don't worry, he doesn't mind being close.
So tell everybody what happened, Ant.
Oh, so it was great. So they had the panel. It was basically on political correctness. So they had the libtards there, and they were just shouting everyone down, everybody who was talking. Even the woman. The woman is a feminist, by the way. She's not third-wave feminism, so she's against a lot of the campus feminism that's going on right now. That's just retarded. Right, the shit that breeds Trigglypuff. And
right.
it was really good. You had Crowder that wasn't taking any of their bullshit. A lot of great information. You have Milo, who calls Trump daddy. And just
that's fun.
and trolls the shit out of libtards. You know, they're calling him a racist homophobe. Meanwhile, he's gay and has a fetish for black guys.
Irony.
It's just great. It was pretty awesome. And then what do we have? We have what? Trump sweeping five states yesterday.
Yeah, 5 states, and he is now at the point where he is, he's mathematically eliminated Cruz and Consuelo.
Consuelo Villalobos.
Consuelo and Cruz are both eliminated mathematically. And
so they're out.
The people I was just watching. I don't know if you saw this, Ant. I was watching a news clip of it's like some in Anaheim, California. Okay. Some like municipality head. I don't know if she's a fucking I don't know what
mayor.
The mayor. Okay, the mayor of Anaheim.
The actual mayor.
She was trying to pass a bill that would make illegal
to condemn his divisive rhetoric, Donald Trump, or whatever that means.
Well,
I have no idea.
So
Like,
pretty much, Trump's, what Trump says she wanted to make illegal.
Nice.
She wanted to make what a presidential campaigner, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What he was saying, illegal.
Illegal.
While he's campaigning, I'm going to make what you're saying illegal. That's what she wanted to do in Anaheim, California. So obviously, there were a bunch of Trump supporters who went out, and this was like the public, I guess, meeting, the town hall meeting, where the locals got to voice their opinions, and it got sabotaged and invaded by anti-Trump people, and and it was great because there was actually a back and forth. So the people who invaded, the anti-Trump people, were spraying pepper spray into the crowd.
Really?
And they were hitting little kids and everything, and it was fucking crazy. So you had
supporters do it all the time.
So yeah, exactly. So one of the Trump supporters, after she had gotten pepper spray, took out like a stun gun and stunned the dude. And then another lady hit another guy with a pepper spray. The Trump supporter to an anti-Trump
and
guy.
what was great to see too was it was a mix of people at that town hall speaking up in behalf of Donald Trump. It was a black woman, white women. Those kids that got sprayed were Asian. They looked like Asians.
Yep. So they really couldn't see after that spray. Sure.
Or maybe they weren't Asian and they just looked Asian after they got sprayed. I don't know. Couldn't tell.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was very indicative as usual of the battle that's going on across the country. One of the reasons I love the Trump campaign so much is it causes these types of conflicts, which really forces people to sort of
no one can hide anymore.
Right, you eliminate the gray area that all these morally ambiguous fucking cunts want to sort of hide in and not really take a position on, but still want the the right to complain about shit and undermine the achievements of others, of course. But that's one of the things that I love about the Trump campaign. So what do you think? Have you been following any of the rallies of what's going on with Trump?
Not so much the rallies anymore. He had a speech today on his foreign policy, and you could see his tone was a lot more presidential, as they've been asking him for.
As I said.
Right. So he had a pretty solid speech. I think it was on PBS or something like that. So, nothing on that end. But, I'm sure you guys saw that you have Cruz and Kasich publicly saying that they're going to team up against Trump to try to steal away as many delegates so he doesn't make the 1237 mark, which is the majority.
Right. That makes sense.
So
now let me ask, did you watch the speech today?
The foreign policy speech?
Yes.
Yes, I caught parts of it. I won't say I saw the whole thing.
Right. Well, you were probably at work, right?
Right, exactly.
Good job. But, so I was at work too. But I didn't catch much of it. One of the things that I did hear, though, just trying to survey, social media quickly before the show tonight, is everybody seems to be saying the same thing. You see him starting to change gears, start to really hunker down for a general election, and start to put on his president hat, and how he's acting.
Right.
So I obviously said this was going to happen. I said this was going to be the case. I said it was a dogfight. You have so many people that are looking to criticize his methods, yet here he is sitting pretty, really dominating the Republican battle. So it's really, well, what do you want to do? Do you not like him because he's not like you? Because what he's actually doing is winning, and that's kind of the point at this part of the process.
Yeah.
You got to win the primary, right?
Well, I think what you have is people that are so stuck with the two-party system and that are really loyal to conservatism, so-called conservatism. So you have the guys like Ben Shapiro's a great example, who went completely off the deep end in his hashtag Never Trump campaign. Like the whole thing with Michelle Fields was ridiculous. You
right.
know, even for him, it's a reach. And you just see, like, he just doesn't like Trump. Like
Right.
That's what it comes down to. He doesn't like the fact that Trump can't be boxed in as a true conservative. And I think that's why people are like him. That's why he's getting people that never voted before, because they were so disgusted with the two-party system that are actually willing to vote now. So maybe that's something that he should embrace, but he won't.
With Ben Shapiro, you know, the thing about Ben Shapiro is I hate that he's fucking acting like this, you know, because
he's a solid guy in other areas, yeah, definitely.
He's such a formidable ally in so many areas, but he doesn't, and you could see this, he's not willing to look at the biases that he has and how it affects some of his talking points. So when you look at, you know, what he's done with Trump, all right, so it's like, okay, you know, Ben, you know, Trump is more than likely going to be the Republican nominee. Now, if Trump doesn't win the nomination and it goes to a brokered convention and, you know, second vote, they wind up, you know, putting in Cruz or some other fucking hand job, you know.
That makes sense.
If that happens, okay, good on you, Ben. You did it, you know, because that's how he's going to feel. But if that doesn't happen, like, what are you doing right now? Like, even Ted Cruz. Like, Ted Cruz, what the fuck are you doing? Because all you're doing is undermining. Because at this point, you look at the support that Donald Trump has gotten. Ted Cruz does not deserve, nor has he earned that support. So if he manages to sort of backdoor this process and get the nomination, he is going to alienate the lion's share of support that the Republican Party has gotten thus far in the name of Trump, which means now
guarantee a loss.
Now you wind up guaranteeing that you lost.
Yeah.
Like, and when you look at these people, you know, these are people that are you know, running on these ideas that they care about America, they care about us, they care about our legacy, our history, you know, our economy, all these different things. Yet you see them time and time again do nothing, you know, and this is deeds again, not what they're saying, but what they're doing, do nothing but self-serving, completely closed-minded, short game type things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And I think with these people that are so loyal to conservatism, they don't mind that Hillary can win. They actually feel that they'll take that because Hillary keeps the status quo and like she's for rent, you know. Right. Like Hillary will change. She'll flip flop. She doesn't care. Like nobody. Like so. They're already.
Yeah. It's fucking pathetic. And you know, it's funny. I'm down here, you know, with a bunch of the brothers and we're having these talks and you've been a part of these talks and you know what's going on. And these guys are just guys that are willing to change their positions at the drop of a hat. The only thing they don't want to be is weak. You know, they don't want to be weak. They don't want to be disloyal. They don't want to be, you know, closed-minded and biased to where they're incongruent. And it's one of the reasons I love doing, you know, all the things that I do and hanging out with all the friends that I have is because everybody trades in strength. Everybody's here to make not only themselves more powerful, but everybody else. And with politicians, you know, I've contended from the beginning, like, don't put all your hopes and dreams, you know, in a fucking presidential candidate. You know, like, it's ridiculous. Voting still matters. We've gone over that. You know, it matters. Certainly not, you know, at this end-all, be-all, we're going to, you know, anoint the chosen one and all's going to be well. But, you know, internally and more localized in who we are in our communities and who we are amongst our circles of friends, you know, you see the need and the sort of instant gratification, the immediate feedback of what strength does, you know, for an individual. And then when you start getting strong and you start hanging around strong people and you start realizing, all of the hiccups you may have had in the past and all the personal, obstacles that everybody, has sort of been beaten down with from time to time, you start realizing the complete hypocrisy of, of the jesters, the actors and the entertainers who want to have political opinions and the politicians, how, you have a woman who is running for president, who is under investigation by the FBI for releasing classified information. It's not just about Benghazi anymore,
right.
But with everything that she is going through. Now, understand, anybody else or anybody lower on the, on the elite oligarch scale is immediately in jail, probably for life. Doing what she's done. She not only is not in jail, but she is running for president and also stands a good chance of winning. That is the hypocrisy of our reality,
Right.
So, Ed, how long?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let you go ahead. What questions you have?
I was going to ask you, how long have you known me now?
I've known you almost 10 years now.
Right. So you're a black belt. You're one of my black belts. You know me almost 10 years. So one of the things that people outside, and this isn't just a me thing, but this is a people like me thing, whether it be, friends of mine or people that follow the same type of, philosophies and habits that I do and my friends do. What has been your experience developing or I guess becoming aware of the contrast of how it's, what it's like outside the wall of, let's say from, my wall, the Jungle Gym wall, and being inside? What are some of the things that, you've gone through in your development?
Well, one of the things, a lot of the friends I did have, I don't have. And the reason being is I personally changed. I was more goal-oriented, and I think me being so goal-oriented sort of shined the light on how everybody around me was not goal-oriented, and I think it kind of makes them uncomfortable. That would be the glaring thing that I would see in my development at the Jungle Gym.
Right. And that's it? Come on, you gotta fucking give me more than that. It's a radio show.
Hold on, let me play his music.
What's my music?
We're trying to fire you up a bit. So let's give us some more. You fucking you lemon.
I guess I don't understand the question then.
There we go. We're in agreement. So what I'm trying to say is there are people outside the wall. They act a certain way. They conduct themselves a certain way. They have certain mannerisms and philosophies. And there are people inside of our wall who are completely incongruent with so much of that. Talk about your growth in understanding what the difference is between how they act, how we act, and why you see that as a good thing.
Okay, definitely. All right, so, inside the wall, everyone here at the Jungle Gym, or they're pushed to act a certain way.
Yeah, because it's not everyone at the Jungle Gym, right? It's the people who have sort of climbed the ladder to that inner circle of existence. I'm not going to say, there's not a clique waiting for people at the top, but there's certainly a barrier of development in transitioning. So, but I agree with what you're saying. So go on.
Right. There's certainly you need a thick skin to be up there. There's nobody at the top or what that sort of inner circles, so to speak, is gonna bitch about being criticized, or at least not to the extent where they'll get upset. We will have our little disagreements here and there, but at the end of the day, We know the intentions are to get stronger, so nobody here is actually getting offended or anything like that. And then outside the wall, you have a talk with somebody, and they're too easily offended. So that's definitely something that I see. There's also the complainers.
Right.
Here, somebody's complaining, they get checked immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
Outside, you don't have that. If you talk to people outside the store, let's say I go to an event that's not a jungle gym event, I know I'm going to listen to some weak shit here and there. Even at a family gathering, there's times I've talked to you, MC, and I mentioned a conversation I'm having with somebody, and just a weak position, and then I have to talk to you about it because I'm so used to being around you guys. So when I step out for a little bit, it's like, holy shit!
Right.
The world is a scary place.
Oh, you need to get back to the power.
I need to get back to I need to recharge my battery. Absolutely, yeah. Whenever we step outside these walls, it's like we just want to get back. I'm here 7 days a week. I don't work here 7 days a week.
Right.
But I'm at the gym. I'm training. Sometimes I just go there to have the conversation. We had, Bengali, Santonio. Santonio came by on Sunday, 3:30, when most of the training's done, because he said he just wanted to be around the conversations. He needed to be around men. And
that's awesome.
That's I think we've all grown to appreciate that. Just you'll see Master Chris show up on a Sunday, and we're all winding down from the training, and we're just talking. And a lot of times we're not even talking about jiu-jitsu or MMA. Like sometimes we'll talk about homeschooling. Like Master Chris, he works at a school, so we'll talk about education.
Right.
So,
another thing that. And the reason I'm asking you all this, because, everybody sees Pat all the time, and Pat's one of the students, but you're one of the guys behind the scenes that really helps, the jungle gym move and stay, in an upward slope. And
right.
Like, you've been around a long time and you've seen a lot of things happen. And one of my biggest fears, right, if I have a fear, it's the fear of being incongruent and full of shit.
Right.
It's the fear of, talking the talk but not walking the walk. So there's been plenty of times where we've had, obstacles with certain students, whether it's present, past, in transition between one and the other. But we've had students. How, in your opinion, and now you're on a phone, you're not here with me in the room, so I don't want to lead your, your talk or what you're saying, your content, but explain to the listeners, how do we deal with problems? Do we sort of try to sweep things under the rug? Do we tippy-toe things? How do we do it?
Well, one of the things is you certainly taught us we can't avoid a conflict. And one of the things in my development, and you certainly helped me with this, is I tend to avoid the big conflict. You make sure that I face it head on. So when we deal with issues here, we try to nip it in the bud, as you say, as quickly as we can. So we certainly do deal with things head on, and we'll deal with the recourse of those actions, the consequences rather. So we'll deal. We're very upfront with people. We're very tough. But we're fair at the end of it. We will assess the situation. If a situation is a situation that needs to be discussed between me and you, that's, maybe it's an out of the ordinary situation, we'll discuss it, and, we'll come, what's the fair thing to do? And we've done that.
Right.
How many times have we had a conversation, me and you, where, person's having some sort of difficulty, and, what's the fair thing to do? How can we make sure that this person continues with us, while at the same time we're not getting fucked over,
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things that's lost with so much of, this type of philosophy, like the pressure philosophy. We get a lot of and you see it, a lot of times, I'll have people go after me online and I'll show it to
Right.
you guys. And it's like a source of fucking humor and entertainment. But a lot of times people lose sight of the fact that ultimately, what this type of mindset, the type of mindset that we promote, it leads to a more powerful connection amongst the tribe. It leads to a position to where we can even be benevolent to others.
Right.
In today's day and age, you see the millionaires, they have too much money, they this, they that, the other thing. And the whole thing is, you're obviously so benevolent and you're so concerned with other people. Why don't you make more money so you could help more people? So there's this huge paradox, and a lot of people don't understand that. And one of the unfortunate things is, and you see this, you get people that you just know if they were a little bit more resilient, if they were a little tougher, they definitely have the ability to sort of break through that threshold and get to the point where they see the value of enduring the pressure they do, So, like, I know at the school, obviously because it's a business, it's not, as much as I would love to run like a fucking, a warrior cult at the top of a mountain somewhere. Stay tuned. As much as I would like
Coming
to do
soon.
that, I still have bills to pay. We still have to pay our bills, and we still have to keep the fucking lights on and all that stuff. And so what we've done is we've created a sort of entry point, in the school and the tribe where people could show up and just to have the pressure of the experience itself, the training itself put on them, but not really the experience that I'm waiting to put on them. Because a lot of times people won't even make it, Do you agree?
Right. Another thing, I just wanted to go back a little bit. You were just saying, enduring the pressure and everything. It's a liberating thing too. And an example I would use, let's say you're on Facebook, you get your point across, you like to say things that that may ruffle some feathers. You endure the pressure of, maybe these people are going to tell me to go fuck myself, but at the end of it, and I think a lot of us will agree, who, those that have been in similar situations, at the end of it, it's a liberating thing to say what you wanted to say, not betray who you really are. Get through the storm of people bad-mouthing you, and then just to see that, all right, I'm still here. I got to say what I wanted to say. This is what I believe in. It's pretty liberating at the end of it too.
Right, absolutely. I remember, through the years, all the people that I've invested time in, and it's either in training or in business. People I've consulted with their businesses, and they've gone through the process where they're I'm guiding them, I'm helping them, I'm trying to sort of lead them to the next rungs of their ladder, so to speak, and some event will happen or some sort of phase in their lives where they can't take it anymore and they opt out, and sometimes not during the best of circumstances. But one of the things that I love is that, when you see where their lives are after they leave, everybody is better off when they left than when they got there. And
we had a talk about that. I remember once we were driving somewhere. It's like, no matter what, these people that hate you, like from where they were before they knew you to where they are now post-hatred of you, like they're way better off.
Right. I remember, it's funny. I'm down here with a buddy of mine, and he was saying that he was selling a gi, online,
Right.
And he's selling one of the show-your-old gis, and the one of now my friend is down from Philly. One of our former students contacted him about the gi.
Yeah.
And how do you like that? And my buddy said, where do you train? And he said, I used to train at the Jungle Gym. Now I train someplace else. And said, so my buddy said, oh, do you know, MC, Justin Garcia? And the former student who left under, not great circumstances.
Less than ideal
circumstances said, you know what, man, we had a falling out, but that dude saved my life. So it's like, yeah, at least some of them actually keep it real,
Right.
But when he was here, he was, just getting crushed by the pressure of expectation standards and, all for himself, because
right.
I don't put any pressure on to do something for me. It's always, the pressure to, I see that my thing is, and you know this, you're like my fucking right-hand man at the school,
right.
I can't be around weak people,
Yeah.
it raises my fucking hair on my neck when people whine, and like how many protocols have we developed to keep me away from people who are coming and inquiring about the business, because you know what, that's not for me anymore,
Right. But it is
True.
hilarious when you are around them, because I could see your energy change.
Yeah.
So I'm nothing if not congruent.
It was funny. I just remember the exact moment when we had that conversation about people being better off. I was driving you to your house, and for you listeners, MC cannot stand the way I drive. He thinks I drive like a Nancy, and whenever he's in the car, it is brutal. So he was like, I need to drive around with you. Yeah. He's like, I need to drive around with you for a week. And I was like, one of two things are gonna happen. I'm gonna get better, and I'm gonna hate you. He's like, I never cared about my students' feelings, so it doesn't matter. That's never been my goal. As long as you get better.
You should be a better driver.
Right, I don't give a shit.
And that's what I said. I was like, you know what? You have a point. Everyone you've ever thought has been better and probably hates you.
Right, exactly right. All right, Ann, I'm gonna let you go. We have another call here. I appreciate you calling, and I'll see you in a couple days.
All right, take care, fellas.
All right. We
that guy hung up.
we lost that call. Whoever just called back. We were just about to answer. So right now we have this setup that we're sort of making do on a small laptop, and my usual 30-inch computer monitor is not determining what's going on, and so it's all good.
We got people in the Blog Talk chat room too.
Yeah, we got a chat room apparently. So usually we're doing the YouTube stream, and I can't really pay too much attention to the features of the Blog Talk radio site, but now that we're reduced to this, for tonight at least, it's pretty cool. We got a chat, so feel free to go on the page and actually participate in the chat.
There's people on.
We've got a couple of people there. I got White Boy Pat monitoring it, so feel free to come in and chat and ask some questions. The call-in number is 347-855-8999. Yeah, I remember, and I may have spoken about this before. It's one of the things when you got to school for 15 years, you tend to recycle stories sometimes. But
you have more stories. You've forgotten more stories than anyone has.
Right. Well, I forget a lot of shit, though. That's the whole thing.
There we go.
So, all right, he's back. Click it up.
Yeah,
what's
sorry
up?
about that. I had to go pee, man.
Who's this?
This is Jason down in Jacksonville.
Jason, what's up, brother, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother, man. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. We're on location, and we're using different equipment, so I'm like flying blind tonight. So I appreciate you calling.
Hey, Semper Gumby, bro. That's where you got to be.
So what's going on, brother?
Oh no, not much, man. Great calling, man. I was listening to that, and he was talking about the. Oh shit, my phone. Is my phone fucking up? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you stuttering. I can hear you pause.
The pre-workout's not worn off yet.
Understood. Get it. So what's going on?
Oh, not much, man.
But y'all were talking about training, man, and I'm not trying to be Augustus's spokesman here, but we some of the guys in Operation Werewolf, they arranged for us an MMA gym to go train at Sunday, and Augustus, for never being really in this world and never having anybody punch at him or try to hurt him, he fucking manned up.
Fucking A. Well,
that's good.
He's not a bitch, you know. Like, just because you learn how to fight, I know a lot of bitches that know how to fight, you know, and I know a lot of fucking real men that don't know how to fight yet. So I'm glad he's squaring that shit away.
Oh yeah, he was awesome, and I've never done an MMA fight. I only know how to train for a boxing bout. So I kind of just on my own just try to mix everything together, and he did about 3, 6, 9, 12. He did 15 minutes straight of sparring,
nice.
and he didn't puke.
Nice.
So I was good. So I was disappointed. I was like, "You guys got tires here and hammers."
Right.
So
now let me ask you, when is his fight?
June 18th.
June 18th. So he's got about a month and a half, a little more than a month and a half.
Yes.
Fuck, man,
right.
I really wish that he was closer to me, man. You know, I know he's getting a bunch of training in, but holy fuck, I would have him murder that other dude.
Yeah.
He still might, but I would love to have been able to take credit for it.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, there were many times I was like, damn, I wish, you know, Master Juan or fucking MC was here or White Boy Pat, because, you know, I've never done an MMA fight. You know, I know, you know, CSW and all that stuff, but training fighters is a different fucking beast than just knowing how to apply it in a training scenario.
It is. So, I mean, my advice to him, you know, and I'll say it here because it's good information. It's to not deal too much or not sort of take on the energy in a way that is going to have him focus on anything other than the list of techniques in his game plan. So, you know, I've spoken to a lot of different warriors, and everything from soldiers to, you know, professional fighters. I've had the privilege to train, you know, many, and, you know, I've fought myself, and everybody has their own thing. And, you know, like one of the things you'll see in my fights as I'm going into the ring, I am a fucking maniac, and I'm going nuts because I'm trying, you know, to take in the vibe of the crowd. But as soon as the fight starts, you know, it's a deep breath, and it's just now going, you know, in Sayak Kali, we have a saying, you know, trust in your training. And all of the, you know, the Rocky soundtrack type of mindset stuff gets put on the shelf for a minute. And now I'm a technician that's at work, you know, and he needs to make sure that the X's and O's are something he's focusing on, you know, not the energy and the gravity of any one aspect of the event. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because I mean, you get that adrenaline built up, your heart starts pounding out of your chest. You know, that's what I know from boxing. You know, yeah, you feel all that, and you got to dump it. You got to dump it quick and in a hurry, because otherwise you're going to start. You know, Berserker is cool in theory, but it doesn't work in real world.
Right, and the whole thing is, you know, you could really be emotional when your technique has such a disparity over your opponents that it doesn't matter, that you don't suffer any consequences from what being like that takes away from you. But, you know, speaking of Augustus's position, you know, he needs to develop a game plan. He needs to say, when I'm on my feet, this is what I'm going to do. When I take him down, this is what I'm going to do. If he takes me down, this is what I'm going to do. And this process is going to be designed soup to nuts to a direction of where he can win. You know, whether it's kicking the guy in the fucking head, whether it's, you know, knocking him out with his hands, whether it's, you know, breaking his fucking arm or getting behind him and choking him, whatever the case is, it needs to be on paper, you know, not in his chest during his, you know, heart fire. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and we don't. I'm going to see him here in a few days. I'll tell him to call you, because I was just trying to give him like pointers, like, hey, if this guy does this, do that. If he does this, move this way, this way. I'm not a trainer by any sense of the word, so don't hold me to this. I'm just showing him the things that I've acquired over the years, and you know, a lot of it just comes from, as you and I talked about last time, Eric Paulson's system, which I think is pretty fucking spot on.
Right.
But I got to give credit though, and kind of give another shout out if anybody's listening. You know, the Operation Werewolf. 2 other guys showed up, and these guys were not physical specimens on any sense of the level, but man, they put it in. They were getting close to the puking point. And, you know, and I'm over there doing like skip jumps, like, hey, why are you guys tired? But they pushed through, man, and you know, it's inspiring to see. You know, people being like, hey, I need to go fucking do this. You know, I need this strength in my life.
Right. And you know what, with Paul Wagner, Grimnir, and what they're doing on Operation Werewolf, you see that he has a message that is connecting with people. And it wouldn't be connecting if there wasn't a sort of, I don't want to say a fucking market, because that's like fucking capitalism, but, you know, like a demand for it, a longing for it, a void in, you know, the men of our society today's, you know, identity. And, you know, he does a great job, you know, very good writer, by the way. He's had a bunch of books for sale lately, you know, and which one did I got? On Magic, I think was one of the ones that I got.
Oh, yeah.
And very, like, I had no idea. I had no idea he was such an effective writer. And, you know, the thing with Paul is, you know, he's a musician. He's very artistic. You know, he's very poetic in the way that he communicates. You know, obviously on the Pressure Project, he's done a great job at tying together a lot of things that, you know, a logical conversation may not have met, or reduced to a logical conversation may not have met, you know, my requirements, you know, of understanding for. But he does a great job of taking a lot of these feelings and putting them into processes, which is proven, you know, in how well he's doing with Operation Werewolf, you know. So shout out to him and the Wolves, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, me and Augustus talked about this the other day. You know, within a tribe, you know, everybody has, from my understanding and my beliefs, you know, everybody has strengths. You are very articulate, White Boy Pat, very articulate. You know, y'all are very articulate, artistic, but some of us don't have those abilities.
Right.
So it's about embracing the strength of your group and letting those people move that message forward.
Right.
You know,
right. And, you know, the you know, so much of what we've spoken about from day one is, you know, getting together with those people that understand you, you know. And, you know, I'm pretty sure we were talking about it last week, you know, about getting off of the internet and meeting people, you know, face to face, because, you know, so much of the communication we do is nonverbal, you know. And, you know, even when it comes to expressing yourself in a cathartic sense, you know, if the only way that you're able to communicate to people is via internet, via telephone even, you know, you are not fulfilling your sort of body's need to, you know, achieve catharsis. You know, being around people that understand you is more than just being around people that you could talk to. It's people that you could sit, you know, in silence with in a room and just feel comfortable, feel balanced. You know what I mean? The energies are synced up, and that's important. And, you know, guys like Paul, you know, certainly Jack's done a great job with this. You know, Chris Jacchio's Tier 1 radio, and, you know, like so many of the guys that I've been able, you know, fortunate enough to connect with over these last few years, even Augustus, you know, to a great extent. You know, we're speaking about things that are bigger than one event, that are bigger than one problem. It's just a general identity we're all longing to reclaim. And, you know, that's one of the things that leads so much of my actions. You know, you said you were listening to Anthony before when he called?
Yeah, fucking spot on, yeah. And hopefully I'm going to train with him in September when I'm up there with Augustus for this some Liberty Festival we're going to.
No, definitely.
Awesome.
But the thing with Anthony that a lot of people don't know is Anthony's had a pretty fucked up life, and I'm not going to be the one. I just had him on the radio. I should have fucking made him say. But he's been through shit, and let it completely just slide off of him that has crushed most people.
100%.
And these are the type of people that I need to be around, because the thing is, I also like to use me as an example. I have an identity, I have a nature, and I need to allow myself to be myself around people that accept who I am. And when I hang out with my guys, and it's funny because I really think people get an insight to my personality via the radio.
Yeah.
And the podcast, because I'm hanging out with Pat. I'm talking about shit I love, and I'm talking about stuff that I talk about with my brothers with, like the guys that are in my group with my tribe. And when people meet me in the real world, I get a lot of you don't look that friendly, you don't look approachable, you don't look this. I have students that train in my school for months, and you're not easy to talk to, and
you're so hard to talk to
because nobody understands me, and that's the thing. And it's really not even what I'm putting out to them, but it's really just my identity and how a lot of people just are so incongruent with who I am. Value judgment aside, but just so incongruent that it doesn't make for a productive union. It doesn't make for a positive interaction. And for me, I put out this lighthouse, if you will, of the Pressure Project. And it's really to have people that are congruent with these things find us and connect with us. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would agree 100%. And, and I talked to Paul about this when I was up there with him. Yeah, we can be internet friends, but I don't even consider that friendship. I contacted you and both him. I said, hey, I want to go up there and train with you. And he's like, well, why don't you come up here and just, do this event? And I'm sure he gets those requests all the time. And so few people show up. And,
right.
You've talked about this before in your podcast, a little financial discipline and planning. You can go up to you can fly to New York for fucking $69.
Yep. Yeah.
Call you guys, hey, man, I've been listening to your radio show, man. I'd like to come up and fucking train with you guys, or just even fucking go grab a beer or so, whatever. And I think that's where maybe me and Paul connect was that, I like traveling. I like going and meeting all these people. To, like, you've talked about before, allies. You're not going to join my tribe, and I'm not going to join yours necessarily, but we're allies. Because if you're ever in Jacksonville, hey, I can call this guy. I got a place to stay. I know I'll be taken care of. And that's what we really need to start focusing this movement on, is actually making real-life connections as opposed to all this internet phone calls and all this other stuff.
Yeah, and to that, one of the things I see out there now too, and this is me putting some info out that people I think could at least, not that I'm fucking the expert at everything, but I think there's some stuff out there that needs to be squared away from some people. There are different identities out there that, they see the masculinity thing, and they try to leverage their, very, I would say, good intentions of, connecting with strong men, connecting with strength in general, and they sort of reduce the experience to this, very emotional, rah, we're the toughest, we hate everybody, and that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about at all. And, the whole thing is, you don't have to tell me that you hate everybody. You don't have to tell me that you're the toughest. You don't have to, like, by the way, like, I know a lot of very, very strong, solid men. I mean, I'm talking warriors. And they don't trade in those currencies. They trade in deeds. They trade in loyalty. They trade in honesty, in training. and there are so many, because now, and I'm sure you've seen this, Jason, the whole masculinity thing, the whole manosphere, let's reclaim masculinity type of stuff. Like, all of a sudden, there's some money to be made, Like, there's a lot of people sort of falling into this funnel all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, you're having identities pop out of the woodwork. You're having everybody and their mother changing what they're doing and how they're doing it. And, my advice to them, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I could talk generally and advise these people, if they give a fuck about my advice. I mean, who am I, right? But my whole thing is, do not lose your identity in order to make money. And if you're not making money, it's because you have to learn how to make money, right? Learning how to make money is completely exclusive for learning how to be a man, for learning how to start and maintain a tribe. You have to learn how to make money, but do not fucking sell your soul for a couple of dollars, because the devil never sells it back.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm fortunate enough, and I'm personal close friends with people that have been on Gangland. And people that have been on all these documentaries. Like, these are my close friends, so I know what a fucking legit badass is, and they are nothing like you would think. Most of them are the fucking, hey, how you doing? Shake your hand. They'll talk to you about anything in the world. They don't, they're not like that fucking show Vikings. They don't look like these fucking. Well, they look like they can handle business, but they don't project that on when they meet people. And I tell that all the time to people, like, I know legit badasses, so you trying to act this way is not really working for you.
Right.
Because you'd probably piss down your legs if you actually met some of them people.
Right, and that's the thing, certain life experiences lead people to connecting with other people. I've had the privilege of meeting very serious men, and on both sides of the law, and the things that these types of men are concerned about, are things that matter. And if we're people who are sitting here championing a return to manhood, a return to the tribe, to the brotherhood, those guys that are doing it in the real world, they're the ones who should be setting the model. They should be sort of serving as the compass that we're all following, and what you get is people who have the best of intentions, but they also have all the answers, and you don't see the curiosity with them. You see the authority. You don't see the intellectual process. You see the emotional outbursts, and it doesn't help anybody. And ultimately, I speak from a motivation of, I'm a voice, I'm a personality, I'm a fucking internet friend to a lot of people through the podcast, on the radio, so I like to put some stuff out there to make people think. But again, at the end of the day, it's like, you do what you want. What the fuck do I know? I affect my life and my tribe. But I would just say, I've been around the block, and I got some shit that I know works. And I think people need to stop being so sort of closed-minded and so really insecure. It's let's all help each other. Let's the tide raises all boats, and I think people need to sort of adopt that mentality. I for one, I don't shun people because I think they're beneath me. I do every interview that people ask me to do because I don't give a fuck. Like, what do I care? Yeah, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about tribalism and brotherhood and violence? Yeah, me too. Like, all right, cool. But it is what it is. Just my piece. But Jay, I tell you what, I gotta let you go.
All right, brother, man.
We got a schedule, and I was able to fit in an hour tonight. But I appreciate your call. All right, brother, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'll actually be seeing you soon. So cool. Right on, bro.
Absolutely. All right, man.
All right, later, bud. Later.
All right, guys. Well, I got to tell you, for an hour of
good.
impromptu, let's find a way to get some internet up and make this happen.
Yeah.
We had some solid stuff.
100%. Yeah, it was awesome.
Solid stuff. But all right, guys, we're going to let you go. We're on a tight schedule. We are back next Wednesday at our regular time and all that good stuff.
YouTube, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. So I do apologize for sort of changing the format last second. But for those of you that were here, and I do see quite a few of you listening, I appreciate, you guys spending the time. And as always, brothers, pressure to power.